Today we're meeting here the final project, presentation of the final project of our Thinking by Design learners who have been doing this course for more than 8 months now. And today they are here to share with us what they have been doing from when they started up to this moment. They started, it was in April, and from there they have been doing different quests concerning thinking by design, and they have been doing different challenges, and then it reached a point where they had to start conducting interviews for their final project. But before that, they had an opportunity to pick courses or to pick areas of their own interest that they would love to work on. And some of them decided to go for crime, some for environment, and some for family. So today we will get to hear all of that. But all in all, we started with 19 students, but somehow some of the students did not manage to get with us to the end. So today we have 18 students, and we have presenters here who will be presenting, but also we have other people who are working hand in hand, very close with these presenters. So we want to just welcome all of you to get to hear what these learners have as a result of what they have been doing for all those more than 8 months. Thank you so much. All right, so now I think we can just go direct and start listening from our presenters. And I will start with the first presenter from the first group, and that's Helen. So you can just come and stand here, wherever. It's okay.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Helen, for those who don't know me. I'm a Mtakuja Secondary School student, a Thinking by Design student, class of 2018. Our project was waste disposal for source of energy. My members were the group from that side there, and they introduced themselves.
My name is Monica Mora. I'm the amongst of Thinking by Design students, group number 1, who deals with waste disposal.
My name is Donsia Mami. I'm the among of students of Thinking by Design. We are dealing by the waste disposal.
My name is Benjamin Simang. I'm a student of Thinking by Design. We are dealing with Helen.
Executive summary. Our problem statement. Mtakuja Secondary School need to manage waste projects around the school, because failure to do that can lead to great environmental pollution and environmental look unattractive. Our school, we have a problem of littering of papers. So we decided to deal with managing of those papers so as we can make our environment look attractive and also have a source of fuel with those papers. Overview. Thinking by Designing program has been an important program to us because it has helped us to discover the value of unuseful materials in our environment. This has awakened us when we did the quest like trash can challenge, whereby the task to convert unuseful material into useful again. Yeah, the trash can challenge, which we did, I think it was on May. It helped us a lot and opened our eyes. That's how we can deal with waste material or trashes to convert them into other useful material, which are very important to us again. As a result of poor waste management has become a problem in Mtakuja Secondary School, and the environment looks unattractive. We decided to sit down and think on what we could do to manage the waste, and at the same time to make the environment look attractive. Based on the interviewers we conducted, they come up with different solutions, which were recycling, burning, reusing, incineration, sewage system. Some of the people we interviewed were teachers, students, school workers, and cooks. Yeah, here we interviewed the school prefect, environmental prefect, and some of the students, cooks, and environmental teachers. They came up with different solutions due to the problem which they have, about the problem they have. Some said the waste pollution like papers should be taken to the industry for recycling again to be papers or make exercise kit. Some came with a solution of paper charcoal, which we also saw it is the best in our solution. Product description. This will be done by collecting papers, then we soak them, the paper, water. We soak the papers with water for 1 week. Then we will make a ball-like shape by using the papers. Then we will dry up the papers at the sun for 2 or 3 days. Our paper charcoal will be ready. Yeah. Because our solution, we have decided that will be paper charcoal for our problem, to make paper charcoal, because the papers which are rotating around can be converted into paper charcoal, which will help our school kitchen. Instead of using firewood, which may lead to deforestation, paper charcoal can work in our school kitchen. Here also we have how we can deal. Yeah, it's testing and analyzing review. Things which we need maybe for advancing so as our project can work well. We need advanced tools and machines which can make paper charcoal in high level, and so as the production to be in high level, because by using the local method it takes a long time, so we can't do for all the days, because also we have a problem of time management. Here we are in school, we can't make your own routine, we are managed by the school. Also, our audience, or the feedback which we get from our audience, preserve it. People demand to continue educating them, also providing the service to them. Our solution will reach to Mtakuja community in general, and also Mtakuja students. Yeah. Thank you. I'm welcoming any of my group members. Yes, ma'am.
Alright, so in case there is any question for Helen and her group, their project has been about waste disposal. They found out that we had a lot of papers here at Mtakuja Secondary School, and somehow they were polluting our environment, so they tried to think of the best ways that they can try to solve this problem, but not just solving the problem by removing the papers, but at the same time coming up with an alternative source of energy. So they decided to produce charcoal paper out of these papers that at the moment we don't like them. So they are done. In case there is any question for them, any question from the audience, any question from our guests to the group, like how are they going to do it, what's their plans, you're welcome.
I have one question for the group, that your solution is to make paper charcoal, and then when you decide to produce something, it means there is cost. So what will be the source of the cost? How will you be able to produce, and where do you think that you will get the money for incurring those costs in your production?
Yeah. As I said at first, I said that in our project we have a problem of lacking machine and funds and supporters who will support us to reach our goals. So for now we are doing locally by soaking them in the papers, then make ball like shape, give it to the community by selling them in low price. But also we can do as a help to our school.
So you just want to tell us that by now what you are doing, what you are planning to do has no cost at all. Yes. Since I'd like to know about this waste disposal. You have told us your project is concerning about waste disposal, and your explanations have based much on recycling of some wastes like paper into paper charcoal. And they remember that in our school we have a lot of wastes. So what about the other wastes like bottles? You have other like the leaf of trees. So is it not a part of your project? Because the title of the project is waste disposal, and the most of explanations is basing about papers on how to convert them or to recycle them into wastes, into paper charcoal. So what about the others? It means the others you have left behind, or your project is based only on the paper. So I would like to know if your project is concerning about all waste disposals. Also, you have to talk about the other wastes, because we have a lot of wastes in our school, like a bottle. We have the leaves always just falling down. So if your project is concerning all about waste disposals, so you have to clarify even the others wastes. Thanks for that.
Thank you for your question, but as in our group, in general, mostly we are dealing with waste disposal, land pollution, based most in paper, because the most waste in our school is papers.
Alright, so thank you so much for Helen, together with her group, for a very good job that they've done. They've shared with us what is it that they've been doing, and we now know that soon or later, maybe they're going to deal with this whole issue of papers that are loitering all over our school. But again, maybe I just have to add one thing. They had to be very specific. They could not been able to deal with all kinds of wastes. You see, they had to be specific on what kind of waste exactly are you going to deal with, so that we can be able to measure the extent of their impact. You see, so from now on, if we'll be able to find like a lot of papers here and there, we'll go back to them and ask them like, what did you say and what is happening? So if I'm allowed, I would like to welcome the second group, and that's going to be Cecilia.
Good morning, everybody. I am a student of Mtakuja Secondary School, Thinking by Designing class of 2018. We are dealing about the robbery problem, and I have my fellows in our group. May you introduce yourself?
My name is Flora. I am a student of Think by Design. I deal with crime. Thank you.
Hi everybody. My name is Charlie. I'm the member of Thinking by Designing Project 2018. Our project is about crime in the category of robbery.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning. My name is Wilbert Abel. I'm the member of Thinking by Design 2018. Our project deals by crime and the category of robbery. Thanks.
Okay, thank you. Executive summary. The problem statement which we are dealing with in our project of crime under the category of robbery is Mtakuja villages need social life skills, loans, and employment opportunities so as to be able to solve the high rate of robbery in the village. Overview. Thinking by Designing program has been an important program because it helped us to discover people's feelings, especially in the quest titled In My Shoes, which talk about people or other people's feelings. In our overview, we have dealt with in this program or in this project which is crime under the category of robbery. We are discussing about how people feelings, especially in the quest titled In My Shoes. There in this title In My Shoes, this question titled In My Shoes, we are talking about people feelings, how others are feeling, or in the problem which we are facing, how are they feeling. So we are dealing this question of titled In My Shoes. We interviewed some villagers and they said that lack of social life skill education, lack of employment opportunities, and poverty rise the rate of robbery in the village. Villagers believe that if education will be provided and if loans will be provided to the villagers, the high rate of robbery will be reduced. So as a group, we have decided to create a group of 4 members that will help to educate a society which has high magnitude of robbery, and also we will educate the society through the clubs about the effect or disadvantages of robbery in our life, not only in the society but national at large. So the villagers, when we interview the villagers, they have said that lack of employment, lack of social life skills, it's one of the cause of robbery in the community. So we have decided, as in our group, we are 4 members, so we have decided to provide social life skills education to the villagers in order to avoid robbery in the community. Our product description, social life skills education, will be provided to the villagers that will help them to be more educated about the effects of robbery in the society. Also, through creating clubs, we can educate people in different issues, especially robbery, which is the main problem in the society. So in our group, we decided that social life skill education, if we provide them to the society, it will reduce the high rate of magnitude in the society. So we are discussing how can we provide social life skill education to the society. So we have decided to create a club, and our club is called the Anti-Robbery Club.
which now we are going to educate or to provide social life skills education to the society. Our operation of the club consists of 4 members, 2 boys and 2 girls. The name of the club is Anti-Robbery Club. The club will deal with educating people on the effect of robbery. In our club, we will move to the society which has higher magnitude of robbery and try to counsel or advise people on the effects of robbery. So in our group, through our club, which is Anti-Robbery Club, we will move to the society which have high magnitude of robbery so as to educate them, to provide them social life skill education in order to reduce the high rate of magnitude in that society. Especially we are provide social life skill education to the people of Njoro village. And we have the interview guide which was used but we interview people by asking him or her the name and followed by the question concerning with the topic as follows. What do you understand by the term robbery? Does your community have this problem? What thing that can cause this problem to your community? What does the government do in this problem, and what do you want us to do? So this question is just open general when we interview the people. And then we are going deeply to asking the question as follows. Are you interested with this problem? How about the village environment? Are they attractive to the society? How about the robbery? Is it so high or low? Are those robber harsh to the villager or society? Thank you for listening. I'm welcome any question.
Thank you so much, Cecilia. I could hear you so clearly. Thank you so much for that very good presentation. Well, Cecilia, together with her group, they chose a crime category. Their category was crime, but specifically they wanted to deal with robbery. And they said, we want to deal with robbery, especially in this place called Njoro Street, because in that place, most of these kind of incidents are happening. Most of the people are being robbed, and there are like a lot of robbers there. So they say Njoro will be our case study. It's where we're going to do our study. And they have come up with their solution, which is provision of life skills education. Because according to them, people are doing those kind of stuff, people are engaging themselves into robbery activities because maybe they are lacking social life skills, because social life skills is all about knowing how to live in peace and harmony with others within the community. So they think that by providing that kind of education, they'll be able to rescue the youth from Njoro. But also, how are they going to provide this education? They are going to form a club. And the club is going to consist of 4 members. And those 4 members will be providing that education to the people. But again, one thing, maybe this is going to be as a suggestion to Cecilia, together with her fellow members, I think it will be a good idea if they will also spread this idea of forming anti-robbery clubs to other schools. Because there are only 4, and it can be very hard for them to move all around these places where robbery is in a very high magnitude and provide the education. So I think it can be an idea worthy buying for you to spread this idea of forming anti-robbery clubs to other schools. Imagine we have like 4 or 5 schools with these clubs. It can be much easier to tackle this challenge, right? Yeah, so you can think of that. But thank you so much. And in case there is any question for them, if there is any question for Cecilia, but also to the group, you're welcome. Yeah, and let's clap for them, please. Yeah, in case there is any question, you're welcome. Yes.
Since what were the challenges facing you when you are conducting the interview to the people about the robbery in Njoro?
The challenges which we are facing when we are conducting an interview is misunderstanding between us and our interviewer. And also we are facing time consuming because it's costs a lot of time for us to move from one people to another so as to get more information, because you know that if we want to talk about something, you should have more information about that problem. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes.
Can I ask why go outside while I believe there's more kind of theft that used to happen in schools, like the socks, the shirts? Why did you choose a bigger scope?
We have to go outside so as we are moving to the place where there is high magnitude of robbery.
Now, maybe the question is, how many times do we find our stuffs missing? Like somebody has taken your skates, somebody has taken your socks, and you're asking the whole dormitory, who has taken my stuff? And everybody's quiet. Why decided to go out there to speak with those people and not start with your very own people? That is the question. Why there and not here?
Maybe we can like it.
Yeah.
Chance, things which make us to go out there. We thought that there's a high magnitude of robbery at that place. So that's why we decided to go there.
Alright. But I think, alright, you're welcome.
Okay, here in your school, as we see, taking others, either socks or a shade, that is not a robbery.
Alright, thank you so much. But I think maybe that's how everything starts, eh? Very little, and then it grows, and then it grows, and then it grows. And then out of these fellow students of ours, who at the moment we are saying they're not robbers, we can get robbers. So maybe we leave this to you as a challenge, that next time, or maybe for other groups. Because I remember last year, we had a group which was specifically dealing with that issue. Like, why are people taking other people's stuff without their consent? Yeah, and they had a very, very, very good project. So maybe you guys decided to do something bigger because that had already been done last year. But again, in your club, anti-robbery club, please make sure the message reaches even those who are here. Yeah, because if we'll be able to kill that at a very, very first stage, we won't be able, we won't get that trouble to deal with it when it's in the high stage. But all in all, thank you so much. All right, now I think we can go to our third presenter. Mr. Miles. You're welcome.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
I'm Mtakuja Secondary School student. Also, I'm in senior design. Also, I'm a seeking by design student, class of 2018. Our problem which we are dealing with is single mother family, and the place where we are conducting it is at the mainland. So my fellow members which we are deal with this problem as well. I just did
Good morning. My name is Dorcas Demiro. I'm a student of Mtakuja Secondary School, a member of Thinking by Design. We are dealing with the project known as Family Problem category of Single Mother Family. Thank you.
My name is Clayton Jackson. I'm one of the members of Thinking by Design student. Our project is Family Problem and the category Single Mom Family.
My name is Osiana Joaquin. I'm a student of Thinking by Design. Our problem is Single Mom's Family. Thank you.
Okay, let's just go direct to the program. Executive summary. Problem statement. Single mother at Newland Village need financial help so as they can able to sustain their life with their children. Overviews. Thinking by Design has become a very helpful program to us as Mtakuja learners since its problem our ideas and help us see the possibility of us being the source of change in our community. It has helped us to see and we know that we can solve various challenges that are facing our community and even ourselves. As the single mother issue has become a problem in Newland Village, we decided to sit down and seek on what we can do to help single mother and make sure they get a relief in their daily life. So as we are group, we have decided to deal with this problem, and we have decided to conduct it in Newland because in Newland there is high rate number of mothers. Most of them they come from school due to just get pregnant of be cheating to the other man who like borders. So B, based on interview conducted, we come up with different solutions. When we are conducting our program is we just interview them and they just give us solution like advising single moms to join on group as suppose. So we are educating them on how they can join on those groups like circles so as they can get one on engaging on activities like selling of clothes and other small entrepreneurship. And also we have decided as group to establish an organization for giving them social skills so as they can feel better instead of feel bad. As Thinking by Design group, we agreed to choose providing education on how single mom can join group like circles as our best solution. Here, our best solution is to educate them on how they can join in those groups like circles so as they can get learn on engaging of some activities like selling of clothes and let's go to the testing, analyze and review. Things that we found confusing area of improvement. When we are conducting our project, we are facing that most of mothers, they didn't like to tell us true about their husband. How are they feel, how are they doing, how are they cooperating on conducting of the family. Strengths or positive feedback. it seems that it will be very helpful on improvement of their life. Also, it will provide that if you will empower them, they can do wonderful things. So, if you will improve that woman on how they can conducting some activities like they just show us things that can make them to be, and they can show us that thing that can lead to the development of their family after being helped on circles by giving loans. Any other feedback of the main from prototyping to make a bigger solution which can be used over the world, because single mother family has become the biggest problem in the world. Not here to Tanzania, but in other countries. So sad.
First of all, allow me to say something. If there is, of course I'm proud of all of you. I'm proud of everyone, okay? But if there is one person that I'm super proud of at the moment, it's Martin. And I'll tell you why. We all know Martin, right? Yes. We all know Martin, eh?
Yes.
How many times Martin does what he has just done? How many times? I've never seen him presenting anywhere. But today Martin was here presenting very confidently. And I should say this, it's just few among many impacts that the program has been having in our students' life, in your lives. You know, you can never know it. You can never know it until a moment like this shows up, and then you have to stand up and do something. So Martin, thank you so much, and keep that up. All right, so their project, they decided to deal with the whole issue of single mothers in the category of family. And they decided to do this because we have a very big problem, not only in Newland, but also across the world. Single moms are everywhere. And the bad thing is, those single mothers, they are single-handedly handling the families. You see, they're the ones responsible for taking the kids to school, feeding the kids, and doing almost everything. So as a group, they thought that these single moms or single mothers need some sort of a financial help. They need to be helped financially. But we all see them, they are students, and they cannot provide those single moms with any kind of financial help, but they thought they could, they thought that they can provide them with education on how they can access financial help. For example, from other organizations which are there to support people who are in need in financial area. So that's what they were doing, and let me welcome, in case there is any question for them, in case there is any addition from the members of the groups, you're welcome. For questions, for additions, yes.
Yes, thank you, sir, for giving me this opportunity. I have the question, which is that in our society, there are a lot of street children, which caused by single mom and family. How are you going to deal with?
The thing that we are going to help them is just we are going to provide their mothers education on how they can join on those groups. So after joining on that group, they can get loan for the engagement of other activities. So after engaging on those activities, they can get maybe salary which can help them on make their children to go on school and to be educated.
I think the kids are out there in the streets because mothers cannot take good care of them, right?
Yes.
can you ever be out there in the streets struggling, having a hard time, no food to eat, no water to drink, if you have a good family which can take good care of you? It's impossible. So I think what they are doing is they are dealing with the root of the problem. If the mothers will be in a good position financially, then they will go back to the streets and tell their kids, hey, honey, come back home. Everything is now okay. That's how I see it. So, thank you so much. Once again, you have done a very good job. And we are very proud of you. Now, let me welcome our last presenter from the last group. That's Daniel. You're welcome.
Hi everyone.
Hi, Daniel.
My name is Daniel Mark. With my fellow members, I would like to introduce myself. This is Eliza, this is Vera, and that is Bibi. Problem category is environment and waste management. The executive summary. Our problem statement is Mtakuja Secondary School need to manage waste produced around the school because failure to do that will lead to greater environmental pollution and the environment will look unattractive. Overview. Thinking by Design program has been an important program because it helped us to discover the value of unuseful material in our environment. This awakening happened when we did a quest titled Trash Can Challenge, whereby we discovered the value of unuseful things. Things which seems to be nothing, we are going to make them to be something. As the post management has become a terrible problem in Mtakuja Secondary School and the environment look attractive and unattractive, we decide to sit down and think on what we could do to manage waste and at the same time to make the environment look attractive. Based on the interviews which we conducted, we came up with different solutions like recycling, reuse, sewage system, incineration, burying, but from those solutions the best one was recycling, whereby we decided to recycle the fallen leaves from trees to be composting manure. Because the fallen leaves, to our group, we think are the common waste in our school, and you can't stop leaves to fall from the tree. Product description. This will be used by collecting falling leaves from trees and bury them into holes under the ground and cover it with soil. The covered leaves under the ground will be watered for 1 week and then taken out, ready to be used as a manure. And this manure which will produce will be helpful because will solve the problem of getting low crops product. And also it is cheap because the manure which will produce, it will have no cost at all. Interview guide. When we conducted an interview, we asked several questions. We started asking the question which was out of our topic, and then we started asking questions concerning with our topic, with our project. And on those interviews, the challenges that we are facing is everyone came up with his or her own best solution. So it was difficult to us to have a best solution which we got from the interviewees which we interviewed. Then the impact that we think will happen when we will apply our solution, we will change falling leaves from trees into composting manure, is that the environment first will look attractive. Then the vegetables which they are produced here in school, they will be in high quality because they will be applied manure which will produce. the challenges that we faced. First, the area for implementing our solution. We thought of implementing our solution here at the school, but the problem comes again. How could we convince the school that our manure is good and can help them to get quality product? Also, the problem that we faced was who could we use to get users for our product and the feedbacks. Testing, analysis, and review. I think we are going to then here I have the names which we think they will help us to get users for our product which we will produce. We have Sir Chala and Samujage as our mentor. We have other students that we think they will help us, like Vincent. Also, the farmer care, Mr. Mremo. We have talked to him and he agreed to help us to take our solutions out and to find for us more users for our product. And the area where we are going to implement this, we'll start here at the school, then we'll go out of school. The area around our school, because mostly are the farmers. So we'll get more users if they will agree with our solution. I think I finished.
Thank you so much, Daniel, for a very, very good presentation. We had one of the groups, that was Helen's group. They also wanted to deal with the whole issue of keeping our environment safe and clean, but specifically they dealt with peppers. But again, we have another group here that did almost the same thing, but very different, because they have decided to deal with fallen leaves, the leaves that are falling from the trees. I hope we can all be good witnesses of the number of fallen leaves that are everywhere in our environments. Now this group thought of that and they say, maybe we can make something useful out of these useless stuffs. So they decided to think of how they could turn the falling leaves into manures. And the manures can be used in our school farm for the veggies that are there. And at the end of the day, according to the group, they're not just going to end up here, but also they can even go outside of the school, because we are surrounded. Mtakuja Secondary is surrounded by farmers. Now you can see the impact that these learners are trying to have. They're thinking of going out there and maybe trying to help those who are out there, because somehow some of the farmers cannot afford to buy manure or to buy those kind of stuff from the industry. So this way we can be able to help them. So once again, thank you so much, Daniel. Thank you so much, Daniel's group, for a very good job that you've done. Now, in case there is any question for them, in case there is any addition from the group members, you're welcome. Alright, so if there is no any other question, I would like to first of all thank all of you for taking your time and be here with us. It has been a long journey, but finally today we have come to an end, and in a very special way, thank you so much. I would love to shake your hands. Thank you so much for what you have done for us today, and thank you too, because they could never do this without your help. They're just here to represent you, but you did this work together. So I would love to welcome Mr. Alfred, who is a lead mentor in this program, Thinking by Design program. I've been working with Mr. Alfred. This is our second year, and honestly, it has always been an honor working with him. So I would love to welcome him to say a word. I'm sure he has something for our learners, but also maybe he has something for our guests too. So,
thank you, Mr. Musa, for welcoming me. First of all, before I say anything, can you, I don't know which style are we going to use, maybe Nyambo's style or 3 factorial, I don't know. But I would like all of us to clap for this good work which you have done today, please. Which style should we use? 3 factorial. Yes. Okay, Eliza, can you lead us? Okay, thank you, Musa. Thank you, Glory, for joining us today. As Musa said that it has been a long journey. I think since April up to now, actually you have done a good work. But by starting, I would like also to thank you, all of you, for taking your time. I know that you have been here at school for studying our normal studies which are in our curriculum. So this program came on the way, yes? So it maybe at the beginning was not our plan to have this program, okay? So it came all on the way, and then I would like to thank you for first accepting to join in this program, okay? And then having a big load of studying other studies, but also you decide to join this program. So I would like to thank you for that you decided to be part of this program. And then the second thing that also I would like to thank you for your cooperation. Apart from some of the other challenges, but most of you have been cooperative, leaving aside other duties and responsibilities and taking part in this program. So that has been an encouragement to I and Musa, that most of you have been good in the program. So that is a very good thing to me and Musa as your mentor. But also what I would like to say that Thinking by Design program, it was brought here at Mtakuja, not just making the student coming in the class, opening the tablets and then enjoying the quest, but the big thing is to see how the students blows with a different mindset. Okay? That is what we think, and that is what we are expecting as we are finishing today, how much your mindset has been changed. Do you see things different from what you see before? Yes? How do you see things? How do you see the problem around in your community? Are you able to discover problems? Are you able to think on how you can solve those problems? So the change of your mindset, that is the big thing we are expecting you people to be coming with, okay? So, and this one, that is what, I think that is what has produced what you have presented today, okay? So, what I want to tell you that the Thinking by Design program is all about changing your mindset. Build a big picture on the environment. When you see the environment, what do you see in the environment? Do you see the problems which you can make them to be opportunities? Because thinking by design, it is the part of entrepreneurship, you see? And an entrepreneur is the person who is able to see something in the environment which others cannot see, and then be able to take that thing or problem into an opportunity which can create something, what we call it, business, okay? So business is not something which is coming from the air. It is something which has been created from someone who first saw the problem in the community and then think on how he or she can solve that problem, and then the solution which he or she come up with is that which we see as business, we see as industries, we see as organizations. All of those are organs which have been created from the solution of someone who sat down and then try to see in the community and then come up with the solution. So that is what we want you to blow up with, that mindset, that you can be able to identify problems and then be able to find the solution, and those solutions are the one which blow up into big things like business, industries, and whatever, you see? So this is very important, because nowadays when you ask a student that, why are you studying? Someone or a student will tell you that I'm studying so that I can be a doctor, so that I can be employed somewhere, you see? So if you have that mindset, how will you be able to explore in your environment to be able to discover the problem, okay? So that is the mindset which we want you as young generation to be able to change, so that instead of being problem creators, then now you become problem solvers. Are we together? So I'm happy today to see that there are some of the students who are able to express themselves, the students who have come up with some solutions of the problem which they were able to identify. So this one should not be end here. Are we together? This one should not be the end. So you should continue finding more solutions. You should continue think the way of how you can develop your projects, okay? And also we'll be cooperating to see how can you develop those projects, and then they become material which now can work and then solve the community, okay? So thank you very much for your time, and sorry for wasting most of your time. I know that you could use that time for studying, but you took that time to participate in Thinking by Design. But actually, I think it is not the waste of time, actually. It is something which, if you use it, then it can help you even if you are not here at Mtakuja Secondary School. Also, I would like to take this time to thank you, bro, for coming and joining us here. Okay? Yeah, so at least we have, the role is working with opportunity education, and opportunity education are the one who came up with this program of Thinking by Design. So role is our partner, okay, is a part of this program. Then thank you very much. And then when you are communicating with the other staff members or other team members, just tell them that we thank them for their support. The students were enjoying the program, and then maybe next year we will have another program which will yield more and more products than what we have seen today. Thank you very much. I wish you a good day.
Maybe I say something before I welcome you to say a word. You have to say a word. We have, in a very special way, let me thank Mr. Masunga, who is here with us. He's a geography teacher in our school, and he has been teaching these stuffs, environment, things, and so maybe that's why he has been having some very good questions for our learners. So in a very special way, let me welcome him. He will introduce himself, and then he will say something to our learners. And we might be having an advice or a word to our learners, which will be a big asset to them. So you're welcome.
My name is Masunga Joseph. I'm teaching geography in Swahili. But also I'm the project writer. Project what? Writer. I'm having different projects concerning about environmental issues and on how to handle the adolescents in Tanzania, especially in my village. I have written documents about on how you can handle the adolescent girls and young women. So my intention is not to tell you what I have written, but what I need to you, and I'd like to present to you, what to say to you is that you have now you have the knowledge on how you can write the projects. So from that knowledge which you have now, you have to use it or them in your life. I have heard from the teacher there that in our society we have different problems, not to hear us, but also I've seen them in our village, in our life, or in our villages. So remember that in anywhere, if there is a problem, there is a hidden opportunity. Anywhere, once you see there is a problem, remember that there is a hidden opportunity. So through these ideas which we have learned from this program, use them to solve, to discover that opportunities. Because anywhere there is a problem, there is a hidden what? Opportunity. For instance, now we have discovered that at Mtakuja Secondary School, there is a mismanagement of wastes. So how you can come up with this problem? It means you have to find out the means of managing them. So you can manage even in the villages. Then you get the what? You get the job or the opportunity or the money. So use these skills which you have learned from this program. It will help you in your life. In addition to that, also for those who seeking the advice, maybe you can consult me. I can show on how you can write a good and advanced project. I can give even my project, you can pass through it, then you can show, because you have different projects. So the project can be for the setting of money or the fundraiser. So you can use the skills which you have learned to produce or to produce, yes, the good projects which can help you in your life. Okay? So I would like to thank you for being here, and you have the second now, because the last year there was a program also you are a second graduate, So use these skills in your village to advise the people, because we have learned and you have got the skills which can help the society. Don't help only yourself. So use these skills to help the others to solve different problems existing in our society, so that we can secure the opportunity. Thanks for listening.
Thank you so much, Mr. Masunga, for the word of advice and for sharing with us your great experience. You're welcome.
I was impressed with the presentations, with how all of you presented, and the ideas you all had. I think in your position, if I remember correctly, when I was your age, we didn't have this opportunity. And I'm happy to see that my fellow Tanzanians can get the opportunity to allow themselves to think and come up with solutions in their own societies. Everything starts small. Little by little it becomes something else. If you go out there, there are a lot of challenges, there are a lot of unemployed people, and if you can use whatever you learn now and put it into practice, I believe you can have a different generation. Like how you come up with charcoal. I have seen people do that outside and it works. So if you learn a new topic in Form 4, you can also think how to come up with a solution in real life outside and be different. It's okay to be different. And it's okay, Martin, that you have come out of your comfort zone. Martin, you hear me? Yes. Yeah, it's good that you have come out of your comfort zone and you have shown a different skill today. I also congratulate you. And for the same of Alex. And in presentations, normally you have to allow yourself to help the one presenting in ideas, for them not to feel left out. Because when you go in college, it won't be one person presenting, everyone has to present. Now if you have the chance for you to grow that now, I think you should try to embrace it as early as possible, so that when you graduate and have an opportunity, you don't have to be the one behind always. Do you get my point? Yes. But I'm sure all of you have worked together, that's why we have had a very nice presentation. So congratulations to all of you, and I hope to see you with big things in the future. Okay? In the part of robbery, when you are doing such a sensitive robbery, is this one? When you are doing a sensitive research like that, of robbery or families, it is a sensitive thing and it concerns feelings. It is wise normally not to ask names, okay? Because sometimes you might be interviewing the robber himself. You're not following. Sometimes you might be interviewing the robber himself or herself, and then you are asking for his or her name. You will intimidate the person, and at the end of the day you want to get the information you really want, okay? That's for all of you. Elizabeth, that's for all of you, right? Yes. When you're doing personal or feelings, research based on feelings, it's wise not to ask names. It's enough to know if it's a he or she, and then you can go to questions. It will help you get the real information. Okay? So good job everyone, and I am happy to be here. And of course the team says hi. Levery and everybody else, they say hi, and I think they're excited, they're waiting for the video as well.
And maybe I just forgot to say this, but she's a research expert. So she's so good at what we have been doing, and yeah, once we're done here, you can exchange some words with her. She can tell you a lot, and probably that's why she has even advised you that when you are dealing with those sensitive topics that touches people directly, you don't need to know my name. Just know that I'm a he, I'm a she, and you move on with asking your questions. Okay? So let me thank everyone, every one of you, starting with our presenters, their fellow learners, members of the groups, Mr. Alfred, Jerome, Mr. Rory, Mr. Musunga, and also let me thank me for being here.
Yes.
Yeah, I gotta thank myself too. So all in all, thank you so much for taking your time and being here with us. It was a very, very great job done by you guys, and it was a nice experience for us all who got an opportunity to be here.
Yeah, sorry, I would like to say one thing that as you can see that we don't have the head of school or what. We invited the head of school, but unfortunately that today is Sabbath, and then yeah, so he cannot attend. So, but he embraced our presentation that we go on. Yeah, I wish someone could be here, because as you have seen that most of the presentation is talking about environmental. So maybe we have to do something about our environment, you see. But I think Mr. Masunga is there, who is also in our environment. So this could be the message, that if most of the presentation are talking about making Mtakuja attractive, then it is a message that we have to do something about our environment, okay? But I think I forget, maybe that's why Mr. Musa decided to congratulate himself, that I think I forget actually to give my sincere appreciation and thanks to Mr. Musa for what he has been doing. He has been doing a great job in our program. Sometimes I may be required to be in the class, but when I have other duties, I will, even sometimes without even notifying him, but I just go straight, maybe about 5 or 10 minutes, then I say, you know, I have another week, I cannot attend. So, okay, Mr. Alphonse, I will do that. So, he has been a good help. And also when we have the calls, the video calls, he has been doing a great job of translating, helping to explain what students are talking. And sometimes the Bellevue students have been talking. We are talking, but frankly, our students were not understanding what they were talking. So yeah, that is the truth. So, but Musa was helping us a lot, try to understand what the other side are talking, and then to our students. So thank you very much, Musa, for your work, and I wish next time you will be doing the same great job that you have been doing. Thank you very much.
Right, thank you everyone. I think now we can get ourselves some sodas.
And I really appreciate the fact that you're in the middle of exams and you have accepted to do this. Being a student, I understand how important it is a Saturday for you to prepare for the next coming exam. But you are here and settled. I really appreciate it. The whole team appreciates it. Also teachers, I know it's weekend and all that. We also appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
And all the best in your exams too.
Thank you.
On Monday.